fresh fake tan, my titty mug cup. Today is gonna be a good day. It's so sad that these two things have literally made my entire morning. I feel like I probably will get a few questions as to where this mug is from. I got it in Nimbin when I was on my van life trip with Sam, but I'm sure there'll be a similar one on eBay or Amazon. I will try and find one and link it in the description box below for you guys, because I think everyone needs a titty mug. For today's video, I'm going to sit down and share with you guys my most recent go-to glam makeup. I needed to get ready today anyway, and I've noticed myself doing the exact same look every single time I want to do a full face of glam. So yeah, I thought that I would sit down and share it with you. We could have a little chit chat. This video, like all of my other makeup tutorials, are just going to be very chill, very relaxed. This is just how I like to do these videos. It's so much more enjoyable for me when we can just sit down, chat, and there's no pressure to make the video like 10 out of 10 perfect. So if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more makeup related content, I definitely can do that for you. But other than that, I hope that you enjoy this video. And if you'd like to see how I do my go-to glam, then just keep on watching. All right, I'm so glad that I made this cup of coffee this morning. Like, you have no idea. I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm gonna do things a little bit different. Normally I wake up and I get straight into work, but this morning I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna have my coffee, have my breakfast, I'm gonna start work at 9. It's a game changer, let me tell you. I don't know why this is like groundbreaking news for me, like people probably do this every single day, but yeah. I've enjoyed it. It's been great. So I have already primed and moisturized my face. The moisturizer that I used is just like a tinted moisturizer. And then for primer, I just went ahead and used my Benefit Professional Primer. This one's literally so dead. I have a new one, but I'm a cheap bitch and I like to get every single bit out of every single product. So after I have primed and moisturized my skin, I then like to go in with my CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. That is such a mouthful. I've talked about this foundation so many times before. I've used it for many, many years and I have never ever switched it out because it's from the drugstore. The coverage is flawless and I just can't fault it. I absolutely love it. I'm also using a fresh beauty blender. It's so new. I'm so used to using, do I show it? Do I not? This? It's got mold growing in it, so I'm glad we've upgraded. Why am I so weird? It's the $1 million question that I ask myself every single day. So after foundation, I then like to go in with concealer. I again have been using this same concealer for years and years, literally ever since it came out. I think I've just been so obsessed with it. So this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 12S Fair. This is a brand new one. I am so excited. So what I like to do with this one is just take a little bit underneath my eyes. Do only like to go in with a little bit of concealer just because I don't want how light this concealer is to wash out my whole entire face. And I'm just going to use it to really highlight all the highest points of my face. So that's underneath my eyes, down my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, and also on my forehead. I am gonna do a tiny little dot out here just because I really want to bring the concealer down a little bit and then up rather than just bringing the whole thing down. So I'm gonna go in with the same beauty blender and I'm just going to start to blend all of that in. So today I'm just going to use the NYX Professional Makeup Studio Photogenic finishing powder. This one is just a loose translucent powder. I got it given to me by NYX when I was in the top 30 of the NYX Face Awards. That was many years ago now. I'm so sad about it. I really want to enter again. Do I? Do I enter again? So pretty much what I'm doing with this is just taking my Real Techniques powder brush, dipping it in and just swirling over my whole entire face. The only kind of annoying thing with loose translucent powders is the fact that they don't add any extra coverage, and that's the main reason why I love my Australis one so much. But in saying all of that, the foundation is full coverage enough that you really don't need it. So the bronzer that I'm going to go in with is my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. So I'm going to pick that up on my Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze up my whole entire face. My cheekbones, my forehead and my hairline, down my jaw, the sides of my nose, underneath my lip, just all the places that I wanna start to hollow out and make look a little bit more slim. I then like to go in with my Tartist Pro Glow palette, and I just pick up the shade Sculpt on my Real Techniques contour brush, and I just go ahead and start to properly contour out my cheekbones. So I'm just going in all of the same places that we bronzed, but just focusing this contour shade a little bit more precisely at the base and just making sure that it does fade nicely into that bronzer that should fade up into the blush that we're gonna do next. So the blush that I use every single freaking day, my ride or die. If you are new to blush and blush kind of terrifies you like it did for me, I would 110% recommend the Gold Rush blush by Benefit. This one is so natural looking, it's not too pink, and it also gives you this perfect glow from within, just shine to your face. Sounds silly, but it's literally the only blush that I will use day to day. So I'm going to go in with this on the same Real Techniques blush brush. I like to use the same brush just to make sure that everything blends nicely together. Another really good thing about this is it just smells so good. If I could find a perfume in this scent, I would be rocking that shit every single day. So when I go in with this, I like to start on the apples of my cheeks. Just place a little bit of product there and then start to blend it up. I also like to put a little bit on my nose just because I think that looks really cute. And then I just like to take whatever is left over on my brush and apply it to my forehead and my chin as well. So after I have finished with blush, I then like to go in with highlight. So the highlighting palette that I love to go in with is the Smashbox x Casey Holmes palette. This one is amazing if you do have a deeper skin tone or you do have a fake tan on. I don't typically use this palette when I'm super pale. I just think the colors are a little bit too dark for how pasty I am day to day, which I was so sad about that, honestly. But the two shades that I like to mix together is Blow a Fuse and Crank It Up, which is these two shades right here. And then I just go in and use a super light hand to highlight the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit on my forehead, my eyebrow. I don't know, just kind of like drown myself in the highlight. Put a little bit on my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin. And then once I have done all the highlighting with the big brush, I then like to go in with just a little flat eyeshadow brush and take a mixture of the same two shades. I will precisely highlight my inner corner, and then I will also go in and highlight down the bridge of my nose. I do this with a very precise brush because I do like to get that straight, crisp line rather than just like generally highlighting the area. So I go in with this brush, turn it on the side, and I just precisely highlight down the middle of my nose. So now that we have finished the base, I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys a little bit closer. We're getting up close and personal here. And we are going to do the eyebrows and the eyes. So what I like to use for my eyebrows is my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Soft Brown. So naturally the tail end of my eyebrow, as you can see, is a lot thinner than the front of my eyebrow. It's just how they grow. They don't grow evenly like that. It's so sad. So I just like to start by filling the tail in just so that it starts to match the same thickness as the front. Let me know in a comment down below, are you an eyebrows before your base or an eyebrows after your base type of person? After I filled in the tail, I then like to just draw a straight line underneath the bottom and just like brush the product through. Then after the bottom of my eyebrows all done, I then just like kind of brush the hairs down lightly, and then I start to bring the product across the top just to kind of create a defined line and just make sure that everything is all nice and precise and nothing's all kind of like blown out. I'm still not super obsessed with the way that I do my eyebrows, but at the end of the day, this is better than this, I think. Both eyebrows are now filled in, and I also went ahead and set them using the Maybelline New York Brow Fast Sculpt. This is a new product for me and one that I will probably continue to repurchase. So moving on to eyes, for me, whenever I do a full glam and it comes to eyes, I want something that's super simple, very easy, and something that's not gonna take my makeup from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So the palette that I normally like to use is my Tartist Pro palette. You'll see as soon as I open it, I use it every single day pretty much. It's absolutely filthy. So going in with my transition shade, I like to mix together Innocent and Bold. As you can see, these two shades are the most loved out of the whole entire palette. I just go ahead and pack this absolutely everywhere. I bring it down onto my lid, into my crease, and I just make sure that all the edges are super buffed out as well. I also like to bring a mixture of those two down on my lower lash line. The brush that I'm using is just a super fluffy brush that I got off eBay. Super random, but honestly, I use it every single day. You don't always have to splurge and spend all your money on nice, expensive brushes. Sometimes you can find some real gems, just like this one on eBay. I then like to go in with a mixture of the shade Whimsy and Edgy. I like to mix these two shades together because I think Whimsy is a little bit too warm toned and Edgy is just a little bit too dark to be going in with straight from these transition shades. I find a mixture of the two works really, really well. I like to tap off the excess, and then I just like to start to introduce this shade to the outer corner and outer crease. The one bad thing about this palette is the amount of fallout. It's very unnecessary. And the brush that I'm using is the Zoeva 225 Luxe Eye Blender brush. So once the mixture of those two colors are in the outer corner and crease, I do like to go in with just a little bit more of Edgy on its own and really just focus that on the very, very outer corner and crease. I also like to go backwards and forwards and just grab my big blender brush and just always make sure that those edges are super blended. I then like to go in with my shimmer shades, which are again from the same palette. Everything's all in the one palette. It's nice and easy. So for packing shimmer shades on the lid, I absolutely love my Morphe B10 brush, especially for creating that cut crease type of look without actually having to go to the effort of putting down concealer and fully cutting out your crease. So the first shade that I'm going to go in with is Ethereal, and I'm just going to start packing this on the inner, I would say like 2/3 of the lid. And I'm working on using the edge of the brush to really carve that crease out. I'm not trying to make it all blended. I really am trying to stick to having a really sharp crease. So once I've got to the outer third, I'm literally just starting to taper that off, but I don't want to bring the shimmer all the way out to the outer corner. I want to make sure that the outer corner is still nice and matte. So after that, we are going to go in with the shade Glam. It's still a warm toned shimmery shade, but it's just a little bit lighter. And what I like to do with this shade is just focus it on only the inner third and then blending it out into the previous shimmer shade. And once you're done, it should look something like this. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and finish the other eye off camera and then also apply my mascara off camera. The mascara that I will be using is the L'Oreal Telescopic. This is my holy grail, the absolute best mascara that I have found so far. So eyes are now done. I am so obsessed. For lips, my go-to lip color as of late has been, I don't even know what you would call this. It's kind of like a crayon, lip crayon. Let's go with that. So the e.l.f. lip crayon in the shade Praline. This shade is everything. I am so obsessed with it, and it also balances out the eyes really, really nicely. I'm now going to jump off camera. I'm going to fix the mop that is my hair. I really want to curl it, and just like that, this is the completed makeup look. I am so obsessed with this look. Like I said in the beginning, this is my go-to makeup look for literally anything, whether I'm shooting content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So if you follow me on any of my other social medias, I 99% of the time am wearing this makeup look on all of everything that I post. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel right down below if you haven't already. We are so freaking close to 1K, and 1K is such a massive milestone for creators on YouTube, because once you do hit 1K, it allows you to monetize your videos, which pretty much just gets me one step closer to creating content for you guys full time every single day. So with all of that being said, I love you all so, so much, and I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye. If only doing my makeup took 20 minutes instead of 3 hours. A fresh fake tan turns me into a different bitch, I'm telling you right now.